Hey Doobs, how we doing today? Welcome to another fantastic edition of the DOOBISODE series, where we play a little catch-up, talk about current events, and specifically in the gaming news here, but also some real-life things that are going on in the world. But yeah, I figured I would just go ahead and say howdy doody. I know we've been playing a lot of Last of Us, and just a disclaimer, I'm not playing Final Fantasy VII, by the way. We're just listening to the beautiful tracks in the background to really capture the gaming essence and just talk gaming news here. But yeah, hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining with me in all my streams. We've had a lot of new friends, especially with The Last of Us. Man, I just feel like I've been playing 2 weeks straight of The Last of Us, and I pretty much have, so we're going to be mixing up the content there. But yes, welcome to everyone who's joined. Welcome for new viewers. And just a disclaimer, I also really like to just I know my intro can maybe get a little long and it's hard to just sit and watch until the content starts, but I really want to make sure people are joining because and get some time to start right from the beginning, because I don't have a schedule yet, and I'm really sorry that I don't have an actual real schedule. Just make sure you hit the notification and the bell to know when I go live. But if I keep going with this thing and get more and more time to actually do this realistically, then then we'll actually get a real schedule, but I'm still working on it. But yeah, let's get right into it here. Yeah, I know it's been a little bit. Some of this news is a little dated now, but I really do want to just get it out there, give it my 2 cents, talk about it and catch up, because y'all are wonderful. And it's a lot of fun just giving more content, just talking about games, the passion that I love. It's such an amazing, the best medium, in my opinion. Just so many wonderful things that can hand them. So yeah, let's get right into it. Of course, I'm just gonna start this Doobisode off with, of course, the movie of the week. I have a little movie of the week where, you know, gaming's awesome, but sometimes we just need to kick back, take a break, and watch it, just a good ass movie sometimes. So this is the main reason I really wanted to get a Doobisode out. We have some good news here though too. So yeah, let's just talk about this little gem, no pun intended, that came out last year, and you can watch this on Netflix currently. Actually, yeah, Uncut Gems. Just a very gritty, moment to moment, raw footage of Adam Sandler, and he's playing as this gem dealer, and he runs a little shop. But you know, I just recently gave this a rewatch, and I just have such an appreciation of the spectrum of Adam Sandler's acting, and everyone in this movie. Especially, I got to give a huge shout out to Kevin Garnett. My boy Jeff will really appreciate this. But yeah, if you're into sports and or Adam Sandler, I mean, this movie has a great representation of real life sports statistics, and really intertwines it with the story very well. And it's actually a very big aspect of the movie. But there's some real things to say here about obsession, and just a very, like I said, raw, gritty, moment-to-moment take. It makes you feel really anxious. It's almost hard to keep watching just because you really start to care about what's going on with Adam Sandler's, day-to-day life, and the people that are always riding his back about money, and just not a really, there's really no rest for the wicked, really. And I think this actually has a real hard look thing to say about everyday people, and how we're always just so rushed, and we're always on the phone, and we're always talking to someone, and we always have an objective. And you really get the sense of this anticipation of what's actually going to happen here with Adam Sandler's character, and he's such a versatile actor. I'm a huge fan. Even back in the day, this is produced by A24 actually, and I actually generally really like A24 films, just because most of the time they're not always what they seem right off the bat there. But yeah, so we have a beautiful, gritty thrill ride of Adam Sandler's day-to-day life in the gem shops that he runs, and it kind of makes me feel nostalgic, and really you can see the universe in this opal, and it really makes you feel things. And I think this film really gives you a nice representation of how obsessed we can be over even objects, and what the lengths will go to kind of fulfill our dreams. There's a lot going on here in this movie, but it's on Netflix right now. If you got it, I highly recommend you give it a watch. And that's why I do these Doobisodes. Honestly, I'm promoting these movies because I want you to watch them if you got a second and you're thinking about something to watch. If you haven't seen it or need to rewatch it, but yeah, the Uncut Gems. Definitely not your typical Adam Sandler movie. I think he is really evolving even today as an actor. He's kind of getting towards the end. And there's also another Netflix movie called The Wrong Missy that I watched with kind of Adam Sandler's regular crew. Of course, I'm talking about David Spade and Rob Schneider, and they just kind of seem like they're maybe losing their prime a little bit. But I think Adam Sandler still really holds Looks like, sorry, Doobs. Sorry, we were getting a little bit of a kickback there. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with the internet. Sometimes we have a really good day, sometimes we have a really bad day. But yeah, really sorry about that with the stream. But I love to do things live. I just love to talk about it in live and actually have some really fun viewers hop on. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about Uncut Gems. Just a phenomenally driving experience. Check it out. It's on Netflix. But yeah, give it a look. I do want to just make this a quick one. I don't want to take too much of your time here. But yeah, so we have a little bit other tidbits of news here that I really do want to talk about. And yeah, I'm a 90s kid and grew up, and my first gaming console was a PlayStation. But before that, there was arcades and more 8-bit pixelated experiences like Pac-Man, and specifically in this case Donkey Kong, that of course went on to Nintendo, and Mario, and we got all that. But yeah, I'm talking about this really spawned my first documentary that really got me into more of a productive, important, real look at video games. Was a little documentary that even aired on G4 Tech TV back in the day, if you know what I'm talking about. The King of Kong. So yeah, I'm talking about Billy Mitchell. Man, doesn't he just look like a bad guy here? With his long hair and his beard. He's a little bit aged here, but yeah, recently, actually, let me back up here. For The King of Kong is this tale between arcade high scores in a little shop called Twin Galaxies, and they actually run a lot of the hardcore high score cabinet arcade games, and really that's where you're going to find the best of the best and the highest of the scores, and they're the one that kind of regulate things. Yeah, and we will talk about Guinness World Records here in a little bit. But yeah, King of Kong is a documentary about Steve Wiebe, just kind of your average Joe versus this Billy Mitchell character who has held a lot of high scores for some cabinet games like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong here. And so actually just recently, I thought this story was put to rest. Billy Mitchell here, this character we're seeing, he recently got his highest scores of Donkey Kong reinstated. Donkey Kong or Pac-Man? Yeah, King of Kong. I think it is the Donkey Kong high score. But yeah, so there was a lot of kickback that they weren't really sure if Billy Mitchell's high scores were actually real or not. He kind of videotaped himself getting the high score in video games, but it almost looked like there was clippings and emulation, let's just say foul play here from this gentleman who was trying to beat Steve Wiebe, the good guy of this story, who really deserved the high score. But Guinness Book of World Records actually reinstated his high scores because there was not enough evidence to justify taking his scores out of the book. I guess they were out and now they're back in, but it really just, I can't believe we still have this story still going on. And I don't know, I think Billy Mitchell here, he seems like a powerful guy with probably a lot of money. He's probably paying some people off, but yeah, we're already here in 2020, and yeah, so I guess at the end of the day, the bad guy wins here. But yeah, Steve Wiebe, just your average Joe father. It's a very fun story, especially for me. It's when it comes to video games and having the classic good versus evil, and there's a clear person who you're rooting for here, and it's great that Billy Mitchell just looks like the bad guy. But yeah, King of Kong is a great documentary if you really want to get a hard look at what the lengths that gamers will really go to get that high score and to get their fame. Because I mean, we're in a generation where streamers are everywhere, and we're getting more FaceTime and value with our streaming and promoting our videos. But man, back in the day, especially in the 90s and early 2000s, you really had to get a high score or do something in front of everyone to really promote yourself to get that level of fame. But yeah, we're at an age where video games, if you work at it, maybe there's something you can do, and especially in the development of video games. I'm not smart enough to make a game, but hey, I love to share my passion and just talk about stuff here. But yes, Billy Mitchell, he got his score reinstated in the Guinness Book of World Records just because there wasn't enough evidence to take it off. But he, it really does look like he emulated the game and foul played and clip it to get his high score and finally kick Steve Wiebe off of the list, I guess. But I just want to give a huge shout out and cheers to Steve Wiebe for standing up to the most powerful cabinet arcade gamer from back in the day. And who knows, maybe we'll get more story here, maybe more will come out. But yeah, watch the King of Kong. That also could be he's a real asshole, and I don't take that lightly. But yeah, so interesting story there. Just thought I'd bring that up because King of Kong really sparked my interest in development of making games and the people behind games and even the people that play and have high scores. And I'm not even getting into Evo, and the fighting game scenery is huge. I'm looking at you, Daigo Perry, and just to really get that press. And I think the King of Kong really kind of launched gaming news and people being really interested in all these high scores and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. I just thought it'd be really interesting to, I guess, dig up this grave and talk about Billy Mitchell here. But yeah, let's talk about some current news games here and things that we're looking forward to. We've had a great year with gaming, man. As I said, I just played a lot of The Last of Us, and we've had Final Fantasy and Resident Evil and even smaller titles like Maneater and SpongeBob Rehydrated, which I will actually stream a little bit later, so make sure you hit the bell and you can follow me there. But yeah, we got another Cyberpunk 2077 delay here. Originally slated for April. It's kind of funny how even with Last of Us, we would have already experienced these games and played them in its entirety already. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed from April, then it got delayed to September, and now hopefully we'll finally be getting this game on November 19th. And this is a real hard time in the generation where developers are kind of keeping their cards close to their chests and revealing when a game will come out, especially on the twilight of next generation, because CD Projekt Red has stated that this game will be getting a free upgrade, a cross-play edition. If you buy this game on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One X, you will get the free upgrade to the next gen, the PS5 or the Series X, and that's amazing. And that's kind of a little bit of the tidbit news here, but getting ahead of myself. So apparently this game is finished, start to finish. Everything in Night City is playable, and we've even gotten another gameplay clip of this game. And of course, we're getting the amazing, the wonderful Keanu Reeves starring in this game. But I think they're kind of push this game back a little bit to try and get closer to next gen, because some people might just buy this game and want to play it on the next gen right away. And I know we don't have the next gen release dates yet, but it looks like it's going to be hitting October, November. And what better way to play an amazing, game on your next gen console, and whether or not this game is made specifically for next gen. But yeah, I mean, polished experience and making it an open world. And I'll talk, we have some news and I'll talk a little bit more about the length and polishedness here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think it's clear that CD Projekt Red wanted to hold up a little bit, let the people who got a next gen console play this game on a next gen console. with the free upgrade. I think right out of the box it's going to be looking even more amazing than playing on a PS4 and Xbox One X, but I'm sure we'll still get that amazing quality. I'm super pumped for this game. Probably considered by most the biggest game of the year. I mean, before that we did have Last of Us Part 2 in that category as well, but just with all the titles, I think this one is probably going to take the cake as the highest selling game. You know, don't quote me on that, but I really do think that this game is going to sell better than any game we're going to get fiscally this year. And so yeah, you know, I'm all for, you know my opinion on delaying games. Hey, if it's going to give us a way better game, delay the game. We'll get an amazing polished product when it finally comes out. And CD Projekt Red is no stranger to delaying games for quality. They're definitely making sure the best product possible is going to come out. And even Witcher 3, I mean, even Witcher 3 is an amazing game, but it's kind of looking maybe a little dated right now, especially on consoles where you don't have the ability to go in and give it high-res textures and whatnot. But wow, I mean, just look at the gameplay. We're going to have quite the experience in Night City here with Cyberpunk, and CD Projekt Red knows exactly what they're doing, and we're all chomping at the bit. It's just been a great year for games, so let's just wait a little bit longer on Cyberpunk. Yeah, we'll finally be able to play this amazing, very intricate experience come November 19th. I got the collector's edition pre-ordered, so just keep your tabs on that. We'll probably be getting more gameplay snippets, but what we've seen already looks absolutely incredible. So let's just give CD Projekt Red a little bit more time for them to polish this experience. But yeah, so that's the news I have in Cyberpunk. We got it delayed again, but that's okay. We have some relatively, I don't know, maybe some people predicted this. I wasn't so big on this platform. Of course, you know, I use Facebook now, and YouTube has kind of been my always envision when I was streaming, but I did start off on Twitch, and I gotta say, you know, they did a lot for me to really kind of get used to my hardware and my software and making streaming look as good as it can be with the resources that I have. But yeah, I'm talking about Mixer shutting down, and actually they're joining Facebook, and Mixer is owned and produced by Microsoft, and I think they just came a little bit too late in the game. Even when YouTube and Facebook were starting to get into the sorry, Doobs, I had a big truck right outside my window. Probably shouldn't keep my window open. But yeah, so I think Microsoft just came a little bit too late in the game with Mixer. You know, they signed on Ninja, and I think this other guy named Shroud. They had the players there, but the numbers as far as viewers just were not as big as Twitch. I even think YouTube and Facebook are getting considerable numbers for streams. But yeah, Mixer just came up a little bit late, I guess, and Microsoft just gave them the axe, and they even already paid, I think, like $20 to $30 million for Ninja to stream exclusively on Mixer. But that's okay. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of reasons why they had to cut down, and I guess it's mainly due to the xCloud. But I think it's just ultimately at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, just axe it. But yeah, welcome Mixer community to Facebook. I've been doing it more. I've finally got my hardware and software figured out where the streams come out at a good level, and we are multi-streaming to YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and I've been very welcomed by the Facebook community. It's been great to join pages and talk about our favorite games and really help our channels grow. So welcome Mixer. You know, there's a lot of people here, and the platform is great, better than I originally thought. I really do take back what I said about Facebook. It's actually helped me a lot grow as a channel, making a lot more exciting and gaining so much more new friends. But yeah, Mixer is out of the picture. It looks like it's funny when I try to sign on to my Streamlabs here. It seems like Mixer still is an option, but I'm not really sure when they're going to completely phase out Mixer. Probably soon. We won't really see a whole lot of it, but I'm glad Ninja took us 30 million and ran. Now he's just a free agent to stream wherever. Who knows? Maybe YouTube or Facebook will eat them up. But yeah, there's plenty of venues out there. But yeah, the real big ones, YouTube and Facebook, have definitely helped me grow as a channel. But it is kind of sad to see that Mixer didn't really make it. I didn't even consider it when streaming, and I guess that's just the level that Mixer was at, is regular low quality startup streamers like me. I'm not saying low quality. I give you the best quality I can, but it just didn't really reach out to a regular community like me, where they had to pay, you know, someone like Ninja 30 million to stream for them. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have even given it a second thought. I'm sure he was supremely happily on and Twitch and all that. So yeah, I just want to say good. Welcome to the Facebook community. Hope to see you on the streams. It'd be a lot of fun to chat with you about our favorite games here. So yeah, let's just really move on here. Just to get, I don't want to string these out too long here. Just have a little bit to say about one of my fan favorites. Man, PlayStation has had a lot of great announcers and presenters. And I'm talking about the most recent one, Shawn Layden here. I love this picture of him in the Crash Bandicoot. I think this is when they first announced the Insane trilogy, but yeah, we have Shawn Layden. He stepped down as CEO of Sony marketing last year. He's been with the company since 1987. I mean, this guy has made so many games come to fruition. I think actually his first real game that he brought was to PlayStation back in the day was Medieval, and it's kind of fun how he finally saw his remake come out last year. Medieval, yeah, it was a great port. It was a great remake, exactly, you know, on a scale of 1 to 1 with all the detail and quality. But you know, PlayStation has just had great presenters. Even, you know, Jack Tretton back in the day during 2005, and even Phil Harrison was okay. You know, and they're off doing their own thing now. But yeah, Shawn Layden, they have a good guy now. I'm not really sure what his name is, but Shawn Layden really connected with me. I really felt like he understood PlayStation's community and their gamers, and really helped these AAA exclusives and these high developed quality titles come to fruition that I think Sony is just going to run with, especially in the next current gen. And we do still have amazing games like Ghost of Tsushima coming out, which I'm sure. Hey Jeff, thank you so much for liking the stream, bud. Hope you're having a Super Saiyan day. But yeah, Shawn Layden has really just brought on a lot of games that I don't think the PlayStation community would really be the same without this gentleman. But yeah, but he's actually come out pretty much a year after he's left Sony, and he finally kind of started talking about the industry and mostly saying that a $60 $60 price tag on a game is just not going to cut it. It's not, I guess his words were sustainable, you know. I even think a game like The Last of Us Part 2, I mean, could have even sold for $70. I'm not saying, you know, he wasn't really saying that the price of games should change. He was mostly just comparing, let's just say, a 60-hour AA title that's really great, and you know, it's a AA title will give you 60 hours of gameplay, opposed to a truly fashionable AAA title that's closer to maybe 12 to 15 hours. I think that's really the experiences. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining with me. I think that's really the experiences that a lot of developers are going to be shooting for, is that AAA 15 to 20 hour experience tops, because it's just not sustainable to have a game like The Last of Us Part 2, which was a long game. I'm talking 20 plus hours, but to try and make that game a 50 to 60 hour game, that's just kind of the trend that we've seen from especially an Ubisoft game with, you know, that we have to have these big open world boxes. Hey, thank you so much for liking the stream, bud. Hope you're having a great day. Where we just have we're having a lot of, you know, Ubisoft games like Assassin's Creed, or even you know, the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077. I think that's gonna be the exclusion here, though. I think CD Projekt Red had a clear vision. They're trying to make the most polished title they can, and they don't care how long it's gonna be. I'm sure we'll be able to spend at least 100 hours in Night City, but I guess we'll really see the scope of the hub of the game in Cyberpunk, because if you play Deus Ex Mankind Divided, I mean, that had a great open world area. It wasn't open world, but it had a nice hub that you could bob and weave in between other missions, and you know, that game didn't quite sell as much as Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics, I think, was the developer of that game. And of course, they're making the Avengers, and I just want to give a huge shout out to Avengers. We got some more news about that. That's still coming out in September, so I'm actually glad that Avengers has a little bit more time to breathe. And it does kind of look like a looter shooter. Again, I'm kind of getting off topic, but just wanted to give that a mention, that Avengers will also be getting a free next-gen upgrade when you purchase Avengers for PS4 or Xbox One X. You will get that free upgrade to PS5 or the Series X, but it kind of looks like it's going to be shrouded in loot boxes. I saw the gameplay in the war table, but I'm really excited to see, you know, Tony Stark, and we're getting Nolan North and Troy Baker are playing the Avengers. It's good to see that we're getting some quality voice acting and talent here. But I digress. So Shawn Layden was just really talking that there's probably going to be a shift in either, well, my interpretation is the price of the game or the scope of the game. You know, like I said, we're either going to get that super amazingly polished AAA, you know, 15-hour experience, or maybe a not so polished. I mean, maybe you can try, because it looks like Cyberpunk is going for that AAA 60+ hour RPG, and it looks phenomenal. I mean, Digital Foundry is just kind of in awe at this game, especially with the scope. But I guess we'll see what the hub world and the real open world actually look like when it releases in November 19th now. So you know, CD Projekt Red, take all the time you need, guys. You guys make an amazing quality experience, and like I said, even though The Witcher 3 is looking maybe a little dated now, it still looks incredible, and I'm sure people will be playing Cyberpunk 2077 long after its release, and it just is, as far as its content and its maturity and probably its true boundary pushing experiences, much like The Last of Us Part 2 had. I know I'm referencing that game a lot, but I just finished it, and it's really a moving experience. It really is going to stick with me for years to come. So we'll see if we get anything from Naughty Dog. It looks like Naughty Dog is probably doing a new IP. But yeah, just to talk about Naughty Dog, it looks like The Last of Us Part 2 is breaking records. It looks like it is going to beat Spider-Man 2018's record of being the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive, but I think Sony is going to be releasing the numbers next week to really and then we'll really know how The Last of Us is sold. It looks like the physical copies have been super high, but the digital copies haven't been included in the overall sales yet, so we'll see what happens there come next week to really see how. I'm really interested to see how The Last of Us Part 2 has sold with digital and physical copies going on there. But yeah, just a really interesting thing from Shawn Layden. He's really done a lot, so I'm going to give him a proper salute. Thank you, Shawn Layden. I think he was the most visionary of all of the Sony representatives and CEOs that we've had. Even, I mean, Jack Tretton was great, Phil Harrison was great, but I think Shawn Layden got all of his buddies together. They did a huddle, and they came up with this amazing, I'm sure he had work on PlayStation Studios. They're actually branding PlayStation Studios. I'm sure he got the ball rolling there, even though he left last year. He just had a lot of work going on in the industry, so I'm not sure if he's I don't know if he retired, but hey man, he deserves a break. He's worked on a lot of games and making the PlayStation brand a very possible and enjoyable experience with a lot of people. He really made the PlayStation 4 turnaround, especially in mid PlayStation 3 era. We all know the train wreck that was the launch of PS3, but man, this guy turned it around and just gave us a bunch of great games possible. You know, he's really the guy that made the games possible. But yeah, so we talked a little bit about Avengers. I did want to note the Sony Last of Us Part 2 sales there as well, and I love that Avengers will be a free upgrade. We're seeing more games implement the cross-buy and in cross-play, So I hopefully we'll probably be seeing PS4 gamers play with PS5. I think that was part of the reason I wanted to mention the Avengers thing, is because I think PlayStation 4 and PS5 gamers will be able to play with each other. So we'll see if maybe like some crazy matchup, like will PlayStation 4 gamers be able to play with Xbox One Series X gamers or vice versa. I don't know. That's a story for another time. But yeah, we also got EA had their little showing as well, and we finally got the announcement of Skate 4. It seems like, man, we didn't have a good skating game for years, and now of course we're getting Skate 4 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remaked coming on September. I'm not sure when Skate 4 is supposed to come out, but we're definitely picking up the collector's edition for Tony Hawk in September. So I'm really glad that these games have a little bit more time to breathe, because I think anyone all is going to be talking about November is Next Gen and Cyberpunk, and probably the other launch titles. I mean, we're getting a lot at the end of this year, so lots to look forward to. We're kind of going to be winding down a little bit, but not for too long. We're getting Ghost of Tsushima next month, July 17th, so we'll definitely be streaming and playing that and having a lot of fun. And then we'll have a little bit of a quiet time with some smaller titles until we finally get Next Gen. And ooh, it's going to be a busy year, Doobs, I tell you. But yeah, thank you so much for joining with me. Just wanted to catch up. I wanted to promote some news that I found interesting. Fuck Billy Mitchell and his Donkey Kong head ass high score and his emulating cheating ass. Shawn Layden, cheers, buddy. Thank you so much for all your hard work. And welcome, Mixer, to the Facebook community. I'm sure you'll find plenty of fun friends here and more of a social experience. I'm not really sure what Mixer did with their, with their platform or how it made it a standout experience. But welcome, Mixer. You're gonna find a lot of fun people here, including myself. If you want a game or talk games, by all means, check out the Doob Radical Gaming channel. And yep, every week we will try to be doing these Doobisodes to catch up on gaming news. And talk about things that I find interesting. And of course, we have all the beautiful, wonderful live streams in between. And later, I will be playing SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Gonna go pick that up and do an unboxing of the Shiny Edition. So, I also got this talking about this PlayStation. I have this really sick PlayStation shirt that I got too. I just really wanted to show that to y'all. So I really wanted to get one of those as well. But yeah, Doobs, hope you enjoyed the Final Fantasy tracks we had in the background. Hope you enjoyed some of the news that came to light here. And let's just get ready for another slew of awesome games coming out the rest of the year. I'm still coming off The Last of Us Part 2. You can check out my final thoughts on that. Try to link that one in the description if you're curious about what I thought about that game. Everybody's still talking about it. We'll be hearing the sale soon. But yeah, Doobs, don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining with me. Thank you so much for everyone that's joined and talked and experienced games with me. It's just a lot of fun meeting new people and really engaging with some of you guys. It's a lot of fun, especially with the past 2 weeks we played The Last of Us. Well, that's the last time I'm going to mention that, The Last of Us time. And yeah, dudes, have a great day. We'll be playing SpongeBob later. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell to know when I'm going live so you can experience the glory with me. As always, Doobs, we'll be right back.